Good morning. It is Thursday, August 27th, and the cafe already smells like someone rescued the morning with coffee.
That someone was definitely not me. I walked in carrying my bag like it had personally betrayed me.
Then let's make the bag forgive you. Today we have 3 stories. Salty Halloween snacks, an AI guide that speaks through smart glasses, and a shipwreck found after more than a century.
That menu has candy, a helpful voice, and a ship at the bottom of the sea. My sleepy brain is suddenly interested.
Good. We will start with a familiar holiday changing its flavor, then move to technology that can describe a scene, and end with a remarkable historical discovery.
I like a news day that begins with pretzels and somehow ends in the English Channel.
At Cafe Talk, we use English news conversations to help you notice how friends react, ask questions, and make a story feel close.
So no giant lecture before breakfast. Just 2 friends trying to understand what they would actually notice.
Exactly. If these daily English chats help you listen with more confidence, subscribe to Cafe Talk and come back tomorrow.
A small daily habit sounds much friendlier than promising I will become a new person by Monday.
Today's keyword is make room for. We use it when something new gets a place beside what was already there.
Like making room for a second coffee, even though my desk is already negotiating with the first one.
Yes, and it fits all 3 stories. Halloween makes room for salty snacks, a new tool makes room for more description, and the sea gives up room for a long-hidden ship.
That makes the stories feel connected, without pretending a cheese puff and an old wreck are cousins.
They can stay distant cousins. Let's begin with Hershey and a Halloween shelf that may look less sweet than usual.
I am ready, but I reserve the right to be suspicious if a candy bowl hands me a pretzel.
Fair. The interesting part is not that chocolate disappears. It is that more kinds of snacks are joining the celebration.
Okay, take me to that bowl before one starts sorting imaginary candy by color.
Hershey is expanding savory Halloween snacks for 2026, including popcorn, pretzels, and cheese puffs, alongside the sweets people expect from the season.
So the Halloween bowl may not be only chocolate and tiny candy bars anymore. That feels like a party changing its playlist.
Exactly. The news is about adding salty choices, not replacing the classic treats that already belong to Halloween.
Good, because I would be confused if someone offered a trick-or-treat bag and it sounded like a sandwich shop.
I can picture that. But a savory snack can give people a different little break between sweet bites.
After 3 pieces of candy, a pretzel suddenly sounds like the sensible friend at the table.
It can also make a candy bowl feel less predictable at a neighborhood gathering.
1 surprise is fun. 10 surprises make me read every label like a detective.
That is fair. A mix works best when people can quickly see what they are choosing.
Especially when someone is reaching with one hand while carrying a costume mask in the other.
The salty choices can sit beside the sweet ones, so the table does not ask everyone to enjoy the holiday in exactly one way.
That feels generous. My favorite party foods never all have the same personality anyway.
A snack mix can also make a pause feel intentional, instead of just being a break between candy wrappers.
I like that. A crunchy pause sounds far more cheerful than a sugar crash at 3 o'clock.
The point is variety, not a rule about what a Halloween treat must be.
Good, because rules around snacks are how I accidentally become very dramatic.
It is a small business choice, but it gives a familiar ritual a few more textures.
And texture is half the joy. A quiet pretzel crunch has its own little opinion.
That is why make room for works here. The holiday can keep its familiar flavor while giving another kind of snack a place.
It is less dramatic than Halloween has changed forever, which is usually how my brain announces a new package design.
Exactly. This story is not telling anyone to trade chocolate for pretzels. It shows a big seasonal brand making room for more ways to enjoy the moment.
And it reminds me that a familiar tradition can stretch a little without losing its personality.
Nicely said. From a snack bowl with more choices, let's move to technology built around describing what is nearby.
I like that turn. My snack bowl describes itself very clearly, but the rest of the world is harder.
Our second story is about ScribeMe, an accessibility app created by Ahmed, Ali, that can describe nearby animals, distance, and movement aloud through Meta smart glasses.
That is a very different kind of guide. Instead of silently showing a picture, it can help turn a scene into words.
Yes, the news is not simply about a new gadget. It is about spoken information that may help a person understand what is around them.
I keep thinking about walking somewhere unfamiliar and hearing a calm voice say what is moving nearby. That could change the feeling of the whole walk.
The app is already used in 140 countries, according to the local report. That gives the story a wider sense of reach.
140 countries makes me imagine many different sidewalks, stations, parks, and voices, all needing useful descriptions.
That is a thoughtful picture. The word accessibility is about making places, tools, or information easier for more people to use.
It is not a decorative extra. It is the difference between being near an experience and actually being able to join it.
Well put. The story stays specific about what the app describes, but that specific help can matter in ordinary moments.
Like deciding whether the movement ahead is a cyclist, a stroller, or just someone carrying a very ambitious umbrella.
Exactly. A small spoken detail can make room for a person to feel more prepared in a moving world.
And that is a version of technology I can feel in my own day, even before I touch the device.
Me too. Now let's travel from a present-day street scene to a ship found in the English Channel.
From smart glasses to shipwrecks, today refuses to let my imagination sit still.
The final story is about HMS Tiger, a British destroyer whose wreck was found in the English Channel after Project Explorer spent about 4 years researching its location.
4 years is a long time to look for something that has been out of sight for more than a century. That takes patience. I do not even bring to a lost earring.
The discovery is striking because the vessel split in half after a 1908 training collision with another cruiser.
Split in half is such a visual phrase. My brain immediately sees two pieces of history resting far apart under dark water.
It is a powerful image. The story describes a wreck from a past accident, and the focus now is the long research that led the team to it.
So it is not just someone found an old ship. It is years of clues, maps, and patient searching finally leading somewhere.
That is the human part we can feel, even without filling in details the report does not give us.
Yes, the blank spaces are part of the mood. A shipwreck is already a mystery before anyone opens a notebook.
The wreck is also a military wreck, and the announcement came amid stronger protection for such sites.
That makes sense. Finding something is exciting, but treating it carefully is part of what makes the discovery respectful.
Exactly. History can become more real when it is located, but it does not become a souvenir shelf.
I am glad you said that. Some stories invite us to look closer, not to grab closer.
Nicely put. The wreck gives us a reminder that the sea can hold a story quietly for a very long time.
And then one day, after enough patience, the story makes room for itself in the present again.
That brings us neatly back to our key word. Let's gather the 3 stories before we finish our coffee.
Please do. My mind is currently balancing a pretzel, smart glasses, and a tiny ship on one tray.
Today, Hershey made room for savory choices at Halloween. ScribeMe made room for spoken descriptions of nearby scenes, and Project Explorer made room for a forgotten shipwreck in our shared memory.
3 very different stories, but each one changed what can sit beside something familiar.
The snack story kept the sweet tradition while adding popcorn, pretzels, and cheese puffs to the seasonal picture.
The ScribeMe story showed how a spoken detail about distance or movement can make an ordinary trip feel more possible.
And the shipwreck reminded us that a long search can locate history without turning it into something casual.
I like that today was not about replacing old things. It was about paying attention to what else deserves a place.
So take today's keyword with you. Make room for. It can describe a new snack, a clearer description, or a story returning from the sea.
I am taking it to my desk, where it may help me make room for one useful task and fewer mysterious receipts.
Which story would you choose today and why? A. The Savory Halloween snacks. B. ScribeMe's spoken guide. Or C. The shipwreck discovery.
I want to hear the reason behind your choice. A surprising snack, a practical voice, and an old ship all make a good case.
Thank you for sharing your morning with us. Subscribe to Cafe Talk for another English conversation tomorrow.
See you tomorrow. Until then, make room for one small detail that helps your day feel more open.